Okay, so I've printed out the schematics for this board, and I figured out from the board layout that the capacitor I'm missing is this 0.05 right there, that 0.05 microfarad. So I put a 0.047, that's the closest thing I had, so a 473 ceramic cap went there. I don't think there's a voltage issue, and I think that that's close enough to 0.05 to do what it needs to do. There's no reference to this capacitor on the back side, so it was supposed to be a 0.05 as well, and I put a 473 there as well. All right, the missing crystal is a 15.728 megahertz. I have not been able to find anybody all throughout the internet that has this. So the closest thing I currently have is a 15 megahertz. I've got a 15 megahertz. I'll put that in temporarily. I think I'm going to be better off putting a 16 megahertz. 16 megahertz is common. I don't find any 15 and a half megahertz or anything weird like that. Basically, it goes from 15 to 16. And 16 is closer to this number than 15 is. So that's what I'll eventually do. But for today, I'm going to be putting this this crystal in just to work on oscillators and junk. And it should also give me a picture that's usable. But it probably won't want to fit on the screen too well. At any rate, so that's what I'm doing today. Let me solder that crystal in, and then I need to start working on power and video connections only, just to see if it'll power up. Okay, so I've got the 15 megahertz crystal there. I've got the missing chip here. This was a F9300. Didn't have any of those, but I do have a 74 559 or 595, 74 595, which is a pinout equivalent to the 4300. I'm sorry, the 9300. So that should work. Everything is populated except for this. The game should still play, I believe, without even this. This is just for graphics data like the clouds or the airplane or something. I still think we should see something on the screen. But for this test, I've only got power and ground hooked up. This is just to see if anything's going to get hot and start smoking on me before I go any further. So I'm going to give it power. I'm going to check to make sure the voltage rails look good using the scope. And then I'm going to search around and smell around for something getting hot. So here we go. So the voltage is 5.23 at the power supply. So that means the voltage on the board should be pretty close to 5. That looks actually pretty good to me. Nice clean 5 volts. There's nothing on the screen because there's no signal being sent to it yet. So now I'm just going to kind of feel around and see if I can find anything getting hot or if I smell anything burning. Especially capacitors. Any capacitors that are getting warm or junk. That can be any kind of capacitor. Electrolytic, mostly ceramics on this one though. I only see 2 electrolytics. One that I added and one that's right here. I don't see any other electrolytics. Oh wait, there's one here. Not sure what this is. This may be audio coupling. Interesting they don't have more. They got a bunch of these tantalums. Now before I turned this on, I checked all these tantalums to make sure none were shorted. Whenever you deal with these old boards and you see these blob capacitors, those are tantalums, and you've got to check to see if they're shorted because many times they are. If they're not shorted, they'll get hot real quick. They'll burn you. Okay, so this initial test looks good. I felt around. I don't feel anything getting hot. I don't smell anything. All right, so that's it. That's this. That's the end of this test. I think the next thing is I'll try to figure out how to hook up video. Okay, so I've got video hooked up. I don't have a place for the sync yet, but I've got it hooked up, ready to go. But there's nothing coming out on the video. Board's dead. So that means we start with the clocks. And let me see where that page in the schematic is. I only have 2 pages of this. I think there was more. I need to go check. But where is the clock at? Yeah, I'm missing schematics, I think. I'm missing the page I need, and I know it's in there because that's where I got the crystal value from. Okay, let me see if I can find the page with the crystal oscillator, and I'll be back. Well, I've been messing around with this for hours. The only thing that I really did was redo this chip because it was horribly done. Whoever put that socket in, it was really bad. I cleaned that up and fixed shorts and stuff associated with that. And I am getting a picture now. It's resembling the game. It looks like some clouds and some scores and maybe a timer scrolling around. Game doesn't play. I haven't hooked up audio yet. I have hooked up a start switch, a coin switch, I mean. It doesn't do anything. I think the sync problems are twofold. First, I'm not sure where I'm supposed to get a sync signal. Right now I'm getting it off of a vertical sync, no, a horizontal sync. I'm getting it off a horizontal sync signal, and it should be a vertical sync signal. And there's really no good place to grab it, so I'm having to grab it off a pin of a chip. Another problem I'm having is this chip, or this crystal frequency is probably not fast enough to get this monitor to be happy. So I need to get the 16 megahertz crystal and try that and see if that doesn't help with the sync. At any rate, this is it for today. I've spent more time on this and just trying to figure out the schematics and the edge connector. Oh, I should mention, for some oddball reason, maybe it was typical back then, but the numbering on this edge connector has numbers on top. And that threw me off for a long time. I was wondering why I couldn't get anything to work. Well, these are numbers on top for this edge connector instead of letters. Normally it's letters on top and numbers on bottom. So that messed me up. So if you mess with these boards, be aware of that. So anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.